what we will do is we will start with the downloading part. Okay, just open this browser, open your browser, go to google.com, type download Power BI desktop. Okay, I'll explain you all these things, don't worry. First, because the download takes time, when you start download at the outset of the session, it will be good, so that in between, if the download gets completed, I can help you to install it during this session itself. All right, that is the objective of this one. Just type download Power BI desktop in the Google browser. All of you please do the same thing, and then click downloads Microsoft Power BI. Go to this site. Go to this site. I guess you are here, right? Power BI Microsoft.com, this website. I'll repeat once again. Just go here, type download Power BI desktop, and then go to that website. Go to this website. Scroll down. You scroll down. You can use advanced download options. First one. So you need to download all the files. Okay, download standard mode, download the advanced or download options, and this one. Okay, download everything. You need to download it. But the first two, while you don't, make sure that you are using advanced download. Okay, please work side by side with me so that there will not be any gap. All right. If you got stuck up, you just type it in the chat window, or you can unmute yourself and tell. Okay. So go here, advanced download options. Click this one. Once you click the advanced download options, it will take you to the next page. If you scroll down here, you will find Microsoft Power BI desktop download. Okay. You need to select this one. Click this one. Are you all with me, or am I going fast? If you think I'm a bit fast, yeah, you tell me.
Sir, little bit slow, sir, bit slow.
Oh, your net is slow, or I don't know what you are saying. Okay. If it is slow, let it be there.
Little bit slow, sir. Today my network issue is there. That's why it will be cutting. Yeah.
Just click this one. Okay, you just scroll down, click advanced download options, and in this page you just watch here. Okay, and you need to scroll down here, click download, or else I will send this link directly to your chat window. If you have connected this Zoom meeting from your laptop, check your chat window. There, I sent the link. You can directly click that link. It will take you here.
To fill this file name and all, we need to fill this, sir.
You don't have to fill this one. You just select this one. That's all. Select this one. Click next. First of all, tell me if you are there in this page or not. Are you there in this page?
Yes, sir. Same page and.
Okay, you just select this one. You select
file
this
name.
one.
Okay,
yeah, file name. This one. The first one, not the second one. Okay, the first one. Okay, 64-bit. Click next. And automatically it will download.
Which one I need to select, sir? Second. 1 minute.
First
which one in this three? Which one I need to select? File name.
One second. See, the under the file name, you need to select this one, PBI desktop setup.
Okay.
Just click
Okay,
this one
select
here.
this one.
You select this one and
After
click
that,
next.
next. Okay, next.
Wait for some time. It will open a dialog window.
Yeah, it's
Right?
downloaded.
Yeah. So what you do is, you download it
It's
in some.
downloaded.
Oh, okay, it's download, right? Okay, fine. Fine. So it creates a
Yes.
meaningful directory. You put it there. Anyhow, you download it. Let it be there. Okay. PBA desktop setup. Let it download. Just you go back to this tab. Now go to this one. Okay. Power BI Microsoft same page. Okay. And what it is, you download this one also side by side. If you still
Download standard mode.
very good, yeah, standard mode. Select that one. I think Vijay you are late.
Yeah, okay.
Vijay you can also start download these files. If you have already downloaded this one, let it be there. Or if you are yet to download this, please go ahead and download it side by side. So already you downloaded this one. The download is in progress, and now you start. Click this one here. You don't have any confusion. Directly it will open the file. Click save. That's all. This we don't have to do it now. Okay, you can
My file has not.
click save, right? That's all.
Actually, it's taking time to download 20 minutes like that. After that, I need to save it or before that only.
Oh, no, it will not take time. Oh, that one is going on, right? That one you forget it. Let it go side by side. Okay. You come back here. You just click download standard mode. It will. Okay. Does this open this window, dialog window?
Hi sir, sorry to disturb you.
No,
Vijay here.
no, sir, it's not opening.
Oh, wait for some time. Wait for some time. It will take
The
some time.
option is not opening.
Vijay yes, Vijay you check my chat window. Vijay check my chat window. I sent out the link, direct link. Okay.
Okay. Sir, but today I joined from mobile only.
Oh yeah, so that's why I strongly recommend you all. Yeah, so what you do is Vijay I'll repeat once again. Please make sure that you all join on time. Okay. Look here.
Yeah, sorry sir.
Go to Google. No. Okay. Fine. See, we are recording. Okay. Let's minimize our talks. Okay. We'll talk, but if it is necessary, we'll talk. Otherwise, see, end of the day when I share. Right. So fine. So that one you can download it. Okay. The next one is that opening this one for you, Lavanya? Standard download standard mode. I guess you connected with your mobile phone, right? Okay, that's why it's slow, I think. You just click save. This one will get. See, simple. You download this file and this file standard mode and download on-premises reporting with Power BI Report Server and Power BI Report Builder. Everything you download. But only thing is, all these three are very simple, pretty straightforward. Even this one, right? It will open. Yeah, it opens directly. You can download it. Even this one also very simple. No, even for this you need to go here and click download. So that's the confusion they made it. If you scroll down here, now everybody is using right. It will automatically open. Yeah, here also it opens automatically. Okay, the download. But only thing is here the standard mode you need to download, and then here you need to use advanced download options. Or you click download. No, that is the one causes some confusion. Okay, it opens some store and all. Right, so advanced download options. Download, scroll down and you click download. So henceforth, make sure that you are connecting the meeting via your Zoom from your laptop. Okay. And see, it's not like other industry. Here, hands-on is very much important. Even people like us, though we work day in, day out, we forget the navigation sometimes. End of the day, when you go for interview, they expect you to be good, very good at everything. Because nowadays, even freshers, they know everything and they have everything at their fingertips. click download, and this one will take some time. Let's wait for some time. Okay, anyhow, now let us get into the theory part. Okay, you just minimize that one, don't click cross. Okay, because the download is in progress. One second, look here. So the web.whatsapp.com, right? So you can go to web.whatsapp.com. I'll show you this one also, or you can do some YouTube. Go to YouTube, how to connect to WhatsApp from YouTube. Okay, there you will find some videos. That videos will help you to understand how to connect to WhatsApp from your laptop. That is very much important, and it is pretty easier. See, look here, I'm getting something like this, right? Here, this is called your QR code. What you do is, in your WhatsApp, on the top right corner or so, you will find, one second. Yeah, you have something called on the top, in your mobile phone, WhatsApp, right? On the top right corner, 3 dots will be there, 3 dots. Okay, I'll just show you. You click images. Look here, this is the one I'm saying. See here, here, right, you will find 3 dot will be there. Just select the, just click the 3 dots. There you will find linked devices. Click linked devices. Click linked devices, and then go to, I think all your network bandwidths are very, not good, right? And sometimes it happens. Even my laptop, I have, high-end connection, but still it happens. Link a device. Click link a device, and here you need to scan this QR code from your mobile WhatsApp. That's it. Look here, it connects to my WhatsApp from the from the desktop. It's pretty easier. Once you connect to this one, right, if I send something, it will be pretty fast. You can download it directly from WhatsApp to here. Some files, if I send it, right, you can download it from here. Look here, so it's all pretty easy, right? And next one is this one. That's all, right? So next, what we will do is we will understand the theory part. I will just cover you the theory part. 1 second. If you say if you want to be in IT industry, you can also become an expert. Even school students, they are having computer science as part of their classes, right? Course syllabus, and even they know all the things, right? C language, C++, even 12th standard students, they are talking well. But likewise, right, if you keep practice it, you will also be on par with them. Okay, you can pick up quickly. But the expectations are very high when you come to software industry, because they are paying very high, and they wanted to stay ahead. And what is business intelligence? First of all, before we understand what exactly Power BI tool is all about, you need to understand what is business intelligence all about. As the name suggests, Power BI. BI stands for business intelligence. Power BI is one of the tools which comes under business intelligence. It is an umbrella term. It is something like, if somebody says, I'm a BE student. BE is an umbrella term, right? Bachelor of Engineering. Under BE, you have many streams like computer science, ECE, mechatronics, mechanics, right? Mechanical. Like those various streams are there. The BE is the umbrella term. Likewise, business intelligence umbrella term. So under business intelligence, various BI tools are there, like Power BI, Tableau, and many other tools are available. ClickSense, likewise. Okay. But now let us understand what this umbrella term is all about. Using business intelligence is nothing but it is set of the processes, software, technologies, and service to transform the raw data into actionable insights using dashboard and reports and scorecard. With the help of the dashboard and report, by looking at the dashboard and report, you can gain some insights like where we are doing well in our company, where we need to improve, where we need to dive in terms of understanding the underlying problem. The dashboard helps you to get a quick insight about what is happening currently and where do you stand, where you need to focus more, where you need to pay more attention. Okay, so with the help of the dashboard reports, the business stakeholders can make a strategic, tactical and operational business decisions at the right time. Making the right decision at the right time is key to the success to any business operation or any companies. Like how we make enterprises, they want to make the decisions right. They want to make the right decision at the right time. So how companies can make the right decision at the right time? With the help of the business intelligence tools. Business intelligence, as the name suggests, it is not as just a business intelligence tool. It is a combination of the business processes or set of processes and the technologies and services. And using all these things, we convert the raw data into actionable insights using this one, the dashboard and all. So look here, this is what dashboard is all about. Okay, what is this dashboard? So using a Power BI tool, we can develop a dashboard something like this. Okay, so in this dashboard, we can see something like this: gross sales, sale price, discounts, units sold, revenue, profit. These are called KPI, key performance indicators. Hope your download is going on, right? In case you just check it side by side. KPI stands for key performance indicators. Okay, so it's nothing but metrics. I'll give you one simple analogy. You will get to know something alarming, right? So if you see somebody's pulse rate is 145 in the resting state, then that means something alarming. That means something wrong with his heart. As soon as you see the KPI, the key performance indicator, which is nothing but the metrics, it will help you to understand where we stand. So we have something called the actual basis projected, right? So we expected the profit to be somewhat $17 million. So where we stand, 16 million, it is good. If you see 5 million, which is very bad, according to the size of my business, it is very, very less. Okay, profit is very less. Right? It is something like key performance indicators will help you to compare your actual with projected value. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, so metrics, like I gave you this simple analogy: pulse rate is greater than 100 or especially 145. Then as soon as you see this, you will understand, okay, this this patient condition is alarming. Similarly, blood pressure. If the blood pressure is it should be 120/80, the systolic 120 and diastolic is 80, and if it is 180/110, then something wrong. Any time that patient might develop stroke or heart problem. You have some actual and the standard value, right? Standard value 120/80, 130/90. These are standard value. You are you have that in your mind, and when they check it, especially in the dashboard, when they say it, oh, this person the blood pressure is 180/110, then something wrong. Here also something wrong. The pulse rate is also high, heart rate is also high, something wrong. Similarly, when they see the metrics, since they the management, they have the domain experience, they have been into this business quite a longer time, they knew very well, okay, how much the profit are supposed to be, how much the gross sales are supposed to be, right? And they have something, they can compare it, and it will help them to understand where they stand and all. Okay, The next one is, in this dashboard, we could see the discounts by product and profit by product. When they see this one, they can understand very easily. Let's say the product names, they manufacture only 6 products, they sell only 6 products, Paseo VTT. The Paseo, the pie of the Paseo size is very big. That means the profit contribution by Paseo is very high compared to other products. Paseo profit contribution is very high compared to other products. Okay, what is the next product which contributes more profit? VTT product. Now I am going to compare this one with this one. So why are we getting more profit in Paseo than, let's say, we have product, Carretera. Carretera profitability is not so good. Paseo is very high. Why? When you compare this one, you will get the answer for that. So since we have given more discount in this product, the profitability is very high. Now the question is, can I generalize this statement? Can I generalize this statement? If I give more discount, my profitability will also be more. Can I generalize like that? Okay, now let us look at this product. So this is Velo product and 1.58 million. This is the discount given. But this discount is lesser than this one. But this product VTT's discount is much lesser than this one. Got it? But surprisingly, when you look here, though the discount which gave it for VTT, the profitability is more compared to this one. Though we have given a little bit more discount than this product, the profitability is not up to the mark. Right? It is not good. So hence we cannot generalize. What could be the reason for that? Can someone tell me what could be the reason? Here, we have given more discount. Obviously, when you give more discount, when you go to a shop, when they say, right, if you buy this one, buy 2 get 1 free, buy 1 get 1 free. Even though you don't you did not have it in your purchase list, you get attracted with the price. Okay, now the discount is going on. That too, they say this offer is valid till tomorrow. You cannot come tomorrow. So what you do is, since the price is less, you are going to buy it. You are tempted to buy that one. But the same way it should happen here. Unfortunately, it is not happening. What could be the reason? What could be the reason? So that is, in that case, look here how it helps us, the dashboard. It helps us to ask more questions by looking at these visuals. This is called donut chart. Donut chart. By looking at these visuals, like, this is your funnel chart, this is a donut chart, this is a tabular chart, this is kind of the bar chart, horizontal bar chart. When you look at this, you tend to get more insight. For example, when I see this one, I can get a quick insight that in the government segment we sell more compared to other segments. Enterprise segment is not so good, but government we are selling more. So why can't we focus more on enterprise? Is this on par with the industry standard? Does all the companies, all the enterprises, or all the companies enterprise segment sale is also same as this one? The next question will come. In that case, what will happen is, if the sale is not on par with the industry standard, then it is a cause for the concern. So what is the next step we can do? Probably we can launch some promotional campaign to attract the enterprise customers to purchase more. So you got some insight. Next one is, by looking at that insight, you came up with an action plan. Oh, the enterprise segment, we are not faring well compared to other companies like us. So in that case, what we need to do is, we need to launch a campaign. We have a problem. What is the solution? One solution could be let us launch a promotional campaign, give some offers, something like that. Okay, so by giving offers to special offers to enterprises, the chances that we might tend to sell more units. Okay, and also we have another visual. This is a tabular visual, and here you have three buttons: year on year view, month on month, and quarter on quarter view. So what most of the times the business interested is, right? So they want to compare month on month profit. What is the current month profit? What is the previous month profit? What is current month revenue? What is the previous month revenue? Similarly, what is the current quarter profitability? What is the previous quarter profitability? Probably in a 3 months time, some month the sale may not be that good, but some month the sale might be very good. When you look at the quarter, you will get an overall idea. Okay, so though compared to my previous quarter, March month, this month, right? So this month, June or last year March month, right? The sale was more, but this month, March month sale was not so good. But overall, in quarter one compared to last year, this year the sale is more. So you will get to know, are we on track, or are we really or the sales are really going up or not, by comparing month on month. Last month we sold this many number of units, or this many number of products. This month also did we sell on par with last month thing? If it is less, then it is cause for the concern. If it is more, okay. If it is less, what action plan we can come up? How do we promote? And first of all, before you come up with the action plan, you need to find out the root cause. Why the profitability is not good, though the discount we have given more compared to VTT. Why the so you need to take a deep dive and see why we are not. Maybe the cost price of this product is very high, the margin is very less. When you sometimes when you look at when you see some products, right, the product price may be high, and but when you sell that product, hardly you will get 100 rupees per product. Profitability is not much. Maybe the margin is less for this product. In that case, we are okay with that. Or if the margin is also on par with this one, then something else is the problem. Maybe we are manufacturing the product, and the cost price the cost price is not on par with this one, right? The cost price is more. In that case, I take back my word. Okay, the margin is not same. Okay, for this product the margin is less. That means you need to sell more product to get this much of sales profitability. Okay, in this segment. Likewise, when you look at a dashboard, the dashboard gives you at a glance view to understand where we need to focus. For example, here, okay, where we need to focus, what is the area of the concern, okay, how we can address this one. Understanding the concern itself, or understanding the problem itself not sufficient, that can lead to some action plan, right? So you need to take some remedial action. If something goes wrong, what action can I take? If you don't monitor, if you don't see the dashboard if you don't review the dashboard periodically, what will happen, right? One fine day, your profitability, you can see a major decline in your profitability. Rather than realizing later point in time and realizing that it is too late to realize, what you do is review the dashboard periodically, every once in 15 days or every once in a month. At least the strategic dashboard, every once in a month they will review it. There are 3 different types of dashboards. Other one is the strategic dashboard. That is the one will be reviewed by C-level executive. So are the C-level executive? Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Financial Officer. They are the topmost guys. So for them, they require a strategic dashboard. They want a high level view, holistic view. High level, instead of saying high level, holistic view. They wanted to see the holistically, right? All the metrics are good. What is the cash in hand? So that is a finance metric. It should also be there in this one. They may not be worried about the discounts, all the things. They are very particular about revenue and profitability and gross sales. Okay, they might not be interested in all these things. Probably instead of sale price, they want to see what is the cash in, how much cash we have in hand, and what is the expense, how much we expended it. And again, they want to compare this quarter expense with the last year, last quarter expense, or this month expense with last month expense. If we spend more, the expense is very high compared to last month, so why we spend more? Okay, so again, they will drill down further in terms of understanding why the expense is more compared to last month, right? This month we expended more. Why? Maybe we would have spent more on the promotional activities. We have given advertisement in television, Instagram, somewhere else. Last month we did not give advertisement. See, if the reason is valid, then it is fine. If it is something not valid, something illogical, then you need to take the course correction immediately. If you delay any further, it can cause major havoc on your business. Right? So now you understood what is a dashboard. Dashboard gives you at a glance view. The dashboard, you have the combination of the KPI, key performance indicator. Along with that, you will have the visuals. Okay. So different types of visual: donut chart, a funnel chart, and a ribbon chart, bubble chart. Like different charts are there, and line chart. We will see later what exactly line chart is all about, bubble chart, all these things. We'll see it later. On top, you will see something like this: product, brand, date, country, segment. How many of you noticed in Amazon website, when you order some product, let's say you want to buy a gift for your kid, so you go to the website and you wanted to order something, but when you order it, they have something like this: which brand you prefer. Here it is brand. Okay, there you will find brand and price, which price range, right? Something, if you drag this, okay, you want to buy within this range, you are looking for any price less than 600 rupees, something. When you drag this one, or if you drag this one, right, 0 to 600. Okay, so you cannot, 0 means just don't take it literally. Okay, so similarly here, these are called slicer. These are called slicer. So using the slicer, if you want to see a specific product, specific country, and specific segment, what is the sale? If you select that here, automatically this visuals will get refreshed automatically. Automatically these visuals will get refreshed. So that is the reason why we call that as an interactive dashboard. We can interact. See, in college and schools also, they will ask you some report. How many students they came regularly to school and how much marks they scored. You will have to share a report to your management. That reports are in a PDF file. They open it and they will say it, okay. But that is not interactive. So you have slicers here. With the help of the slicers, we can make our dashboard more interactive. Anyhow, we'll discuss about slicer and all the things later. At this moment, understand what is dashboard and what is scorecard. I mean, scorecard is also, right, it helps us to measure the projections with the actuals. For example, you are a marketing manager, under you 10 salespersons are there, and each salesperson you set the target. Hey guys, you need to sell, you need to generate profit up to 25,000 for this month. And another guy you call, hey Ashok, this month you need to earn 30,000. Likewise, you call each and every salesperson based on their experience. You can tell them, hey, this is what I am expecting from you. Okay. And after a month, you call them again and then you ask them how much you achieved. For example, Ashok, I told you to generate 25,000 rupees revenue, but how much you achieved? If he says, sir, I have achieved 30,000, that means he has is he performed well, right? He outperformed. If somebody says no, I was not able to achieve the target, I am just way below the target, then we need to find out the root cause why he was not able to achieve. Is it because the salesperson experience is less, or is he completely new into marketing? Something like that. Okay. So sales card also we use it to measure the the actual. We compare the actuals with the projected values, and the scorecard also can be made as part of your dashboard. Okay, it need not be a separate one. Anyhow, we'll see what scorecard under a later point in time. Okay, now you understood using dashboard and scorecard, we are able to get actionable insights. What kind of insights? We gave more discount, we got more profitability in the case of Passio, right? But when we look at in general, except this product, here we have given more discount, and again the profitability is also on par with whatever the discount. All rest of them are good, right? But only one exceptional case. Which one? This one, right? So this is the insight. But with this also we can generalize. In general, when we give more discount for every product, the more the discount we give, we can expect more profitability. That is insight. I am getting it. But when I look at this, okay, I am in USA, we are generating, the margin is negative. So we will see, okay, in 2014 and 15. So this year the profitability is it's not it's negative profitability. So it helps you to understand something goes negative, right? You need to take the action immediately. In that case, you can probably discontinue your products or probably shut down your shops in USA. As soon as you find more negative profit, better you shut down on time. If you take longer time, what will happen? Every month, you'll have to pay salary to the staffs, and you are already running in loss, right? Bank loans, every month you need to buy loans. One fine day, you will have to shut down the entire business in all the regions just to offset the loans whatever you borrowed from there, right? So this one, the dashboard, with the help of the dashboard, we are able to gain the actionable insights. What is insight? What is actionable insight? Insight, we got it. Okay, the USA, we have negative margin. That is the insight. Actionable insight. Okay, what action we can do it? Okay, man, better we will shut down the operations, or we will see within USA which regions are contributing to more negative margin. Probably we can close that region alone. Some location of USA, we might be doing good, just because some other location in USA, our retail shops are not faring well. Because of that, it has a negative margin. That is the one contributing to the negative, more on the negative margin. Better we'll shut down that. So it gives you you can come up with the actionable insight with the help of dashboard, all the things. Okay. And what is Power BI? Power BI is a business intelligence tool. Instead of saying business intelligence tool, they call it as a self-service business intelligence tool. Okay. So now you must be understanding. You might be confused with this. And Power BI is a business intelligence tool. It falls under business intelligence, right? As part of business intelligence, we have something else called ETL process. Before to generate a report or dashboard, what you need to have the data. If you don't have the data, you cannot generate the dashboard. Somebody comes up to you and says, hey, generate the dashboard and reports for this month. The first question what you'll ask, okay, give me the data. Without giving me the data, how can you expect me to generate this one? You need to have the data. But having the data is not sufficient, right? So the data, how clean the data is. The data formatting is not clean, or it is not a standard format, or the way they store the data is not in the standard way. For example, in the state column, some people they store the New York State as NY. Some people they store in New York itself, NEWYORK. It is, they are not storing the values in a consistent way. How consistent the data is are, and how complete the data are, and right. So those things you need to check it, and if the data is not clean, if it is incomplete, you need to make sure that right you are cleaning it, or you need to get the complete data. For example, you're asking somebody is asking you to compare this month or last month and prior to last month the data, you take it and compare the sales and generate a dashboard. You need to make sure that you have extracted last month entire data. Prior to last month also you extracted entire data. How will you know that you have extracted the entire data? So you have some date columns. With the help of the date columns, you are going to extract it from the tables or files. Okay, to clean the data, or let's say if the data is raw data, to clean the data in the desired format, what you need to do is you need to perform some kind of ETL operation. Extract the data. T stands for transform the data. One second. ETL. Okay, E stands for extract the data. T stands for transform the data, and L stands for load the data. For example, you have a customer name column, customer name. Here you have both their first name and last name. So suppose Robert Johnson. First name is Robert, second name is Johnson. You don't want the name to be like this. Instead, you want to store this name in the form of first name and last name, separate columns. What you notice in the source system, whatever the data or the customer, whatever the data gave it to you, it is in the format. You need to separate this one. Okay, you need to store Robert in the. You need to create a new column by the name of first name. Store Robert here. First name, and last name you need to store it here. This is simple data transformation. I told you extract the data. Look here, transform the data. What we did, we just transformed this data. We simply splitted this name into two parts. The first one is first name and second one is last name. And also you have something called in the data set, whatever you have some quantity and unit price only. Okay, and to know the sales, right? Sales, there is no column called sales in the file given by your manager. So let's say the quantity is 10 and the unit price is 107.12. So you need to multiply these two, 107, 1.2, right? 1.2. So this was it. So here what you did, you applied some formula, quantity and unit price. Okay, quantity and unit price. In that case, you are getting the sales value for which product. You have some product detail, but the sales column is not available. You applied some formula based on the existing column, and you are able to derive the sales value. You understood or not? This is also we do it as part of transforming the data. Okay, we transform the data. So, but this is the raw data, customer name. But your manager is very particular about the revenue. Okay, he is very particular about revenue, and he is very particular about profitability. Tell me the category wise, product wise, what is the profitability and revenue? Revenue and profitability, the values are not coming from the system or the file given by your manager that doesn't have revenue and profit. But using the formula, you need to create new columns based on the existing column. Got it? So you have some formula using which, so again the profit, right? This is a sale price, and what is the cost price? Let's say the cost price is 100 into 10, right? So how much? 100 into 10, 1000, right? So let's say 1000 minus 1071, that is the the revenue, right? Sale price minus, cost price minus sale price, that is what your profitability. 71 is your profitability. So this is the formula. Selling price minus cost price, that is the profitability. Revenue is quantity into unit price. Simple formula, okay. These two columns you need to derive it. Only then you can say your data is processed well, clean and processed data. Sometimes, right, you have something called date column, ordered date. The ordered date, the column will be something like 1/3/2021, and for other customer, the date format will be in different format. Tools like Power BI and other, you take any tool that requires the date column to be in specific format, okay. And especially in USA, the date format is month, date, year. Please remember, the USA date format is month, date, or month, date, year. This was USA date format. Indian date format is, we know very well, date, month, year. Sometimes what will happen is, let's say you have something like a 7, or let's say you have something like 12, and here you have 31. So year one date format, year one date format. Or for example, here you have something called 12, December 12, and this is here you have 31/12, 31/12/2021, and 12/31. So in the middle one, you will get confused. When you see the middle one, you will get to know, hey, this is the month, because here he mentioned 31. Month cannot be more than 31. And when you see this one, but here also 31 is fine, but here 12 is there. So somewhere he stored it in the date month here, and the next record he stored it somewhere else, or somewhere they would have given something like hyphen. They would have used some hyphen, and they would have used some hyphen. You need this kind of thing. You need to address it. You need to convert everything in a single common format. Either use US date format or India date format. We have some DAX functions are available, or in the tool itself we can address these kind of data issues. This is called the dirty data. The data is not clean here. It is not in the standard format. Now you understood, right? So as part of extracting the data is nothing but your manager has given you the data. Let's assume that way. He has given you 2 Excel file, fine. But when you go through the Excel sheet, you see that there is no column for revenue and profit is available. Since you know the formula, you are deriving it. You are creating a new column. You are transforming the existing with the name of different column. This is called transformation. And also you are cleaning the data. It is not in the standard format, right? You need to convert the standard format, right? So this, though it appears simple, it is bit complex one. Okay, you need to some columns like this, some columns. It's a mix of everything. It is a confusing thing. You need to spend quality time in terms of addressing this issue. And sometimes what will happen? The same record, they would have copied it more than once. Duplicate records. That is also not clean data. This is also not clean. You have redundant data. Okay. What will happen? It gives you the wrong perception, saying that 71 plus 71. You do some kind of aggregation. Aggregation means sum the value. So it will tell you Robert for Robert customer, we made 142 profit. Actually, we made only for 71 because of the duplication of the record. Double count is happening. This is all the cause for the dirty data. You need to remove the redundant or duplicate records. You need to address these kind of formatting issues. And sometimes what will happen is when you open the Excel file given by your manager in Power BI, it will by default while reading it, sometimes what will happen is it will consider this a text data type instead of number data type. You need to visit each and every column and check the data type. If the data type is text for revenue or quantity, you need to convert as a number data type. Otherwise, you cannot compute revenue, right? If it is a text value, 10 is a text value into this one, it will throw in a number into number, you can multiply it. Text into number, how can you multiply? You cannot do that. So you need to change the data. You need to make sure that each column data types are assigned correctly. The date column data type assigned with the date data type, or the unit price decimal data type. Data type you need to check. You need to make sure that duplicate records are not there, and you need to make sure that formatting issues, right? There are no formatting issues. You need to make sure everything. You need to address. You need to correct everything. Okay, you need to fix it. So, and then what will happen is you have processed data. With this processed data, when you develop a dashboard or report, it will be pretty decent. It will give you the the correct information. It is something like GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. If you give garbage to the computer, it will give you the garbage out. So you need to clean the data. As part of data transformation, what we are doing is we are making sure that we are addressing these kind of formatting issues. We are removing the duplicate data, or in case of any dirty data, we need to clean it. We do everything as part of that. Okay, as part of transformation. Once the transformation done, then load the data. So business intelligence, under business intelligence term, right, we are performing ETL operation plus reporting. In business intelligence, we are carrying out two tasks. One is ETL and reporting part. Reporting. So as part of ETL, we are making sure that the data is pre-processed. It is the data is clean and it is usable, or it is in a desired format, or desired format. Right? So, and then the next one is reporting. Once the data is clean, pre-processed, we develop the dashboard. So the business intelligence, as part of business intelligence, we perform ETL operation, and then we perform reporting also, and also we follow certain processes. What kind of processes? What kind of standardization we can do it, right? What kind of data governance we can bring it, right? It is a combination of, or it is a set of processes and technology and services to transform the raw data into actionable insights. Right? So instead of saying actionable, transform the raw data into meaningful data. Once you transform the raw data into meaningful data, next it is ready to be consumed by the report users. In the simple analysis, for example, you want to prepare chicken biryani or mutton biryani. Mutton biryani, you want to prepare it. So you need to buy many ingredients. You need to buy mutton, you need to buy all the masala items. Vegetarians, please bear with me, okay? Mutton, masala items, and all the items, right? And then it's like the vegetables, chilies, onions. So these are all the ingredients. These are the raw material, raw data. So you need to mix. You need to cut everything, clean it, and then what you do is you need to mix the masala items in the proper ratio, and then you mix, and then you prepare biryani with by putting rice, everything, right? And finally, you will get mutton biryani. This is the processed data, right? This is the raw data. You are doing some kind of processing, that is called ETL, and finally, once the data is processed, it is ready to be used by other guy. Listen, in a kitchen, two guys are there. One guy is to clean everything, other guy is to prepare the biryani by taking the cleaned, minced vegetables and chicken, mutton, everything, right? His job is to prepare this one. So this is the ETL job, this is the reporting job. Fine. So these two are done as part of your business intelligence using ETL plus reporting part. These two, and also we follow some processes, right? So in what way we need to process this data and how we need to load the data, which data is supposed to be loaded first, which data is supposed to be loaded next, in what sequence the data to be loaded. So for that and all, we will devise some process. That's the reason we call business is nothing but the set of processes and technology. We use some tools like business intelligence tool, and we use SSIS tool to perform ETL. But with Power BI, we can perform both ETL as well as reporting. Both we can do it. Right? So this is what business intelligence. Once you generate a report dashboard, you are all set to. So we call Power BI as self-service business intelligence tool. Using Power BI, you can do ETL as well as a reporting. But we call that as self-service business intelligence. Why we call it self-service? Because learning Power BI is very, very simple. You don't have to have in-depth technical background to learn Power BI tool. Very easy to learn. And why Power BI? Why not some other tools? Like can't I use Excel, or can't I use the Tableau or other self-service business intelligence tool? The number one reason is the cost of the Power BI tool is very, very less compared to other tools. Okay, and it is a self-service solution. It offers a number of features. The features offered by this tool is very high. Almost 1200 functions are available as part of M language as well as the DAX, right? And also a lot of visuals are available compared to any other tool like bar chart, funnel chart, bubble chart, radar chart. Likewise, lot of charts are available. And also the data connectivity. You can connect to any type of data. You can connect to cloud and you can get the data. You can go to a website and grab the data from the website. And you can connect to SAP, HANA. You can name it anything. You can connect to any type of data sources and you can extract the data from there. And the next one, this is the, I'm going to skip this one. This is the architecture of Power BI tool. Okay. Let's say you downloaded the Power BI desktop and you installed it. The installation is very simple. Once you download the Power BI desktop, first you install the Power BI desktop. All you need to just click on that, double click on that, keep click next, it will get installed. Very simple one. You don't have to do any configuration. Don't make any changes to that. Okay, simply click next. That's it. You're all done. You're all set. Let's say you install Power BI desktop. You can consume any type of, whether it's Excel data, if the data is in Excel file, or if it is in database, or if it is anywhere else, right? You can use Power BI desktop to take this data, load the data here, and then you can process the data. Like I told you, right? The format issue, all the things, right? You can process the data using Power BI itself. Okay, and also you can generate a dashboard or report. Once you develop a dashboard or report, you publish it on cloud. For that you need to have something called Power BI service. In Power BI there is something called Power BI service component is available. With the help of this one we can publish the report or dashboard on cloud. Once you publish the report dashboard on cloud, people within your organization, right? Let's say you are working for Walmart. They have a global presence. In India also Walmart, and USA also Walmart, and some other country also Walmart is there. People located in any place in the globe with any device at any time, they can access your dashboard and report if you publish it on cloud. That is the beauty of cloud. Okay, fine. So the next one is let's say you launched a website. You have your own website, right? People across the globe, they can access your website, isn't it? That is on cloud. Since it is on cloud, see, if you don't launch it on host it on a server, what will happen? Let's say you developed a billing application, but you did not host it on cloud. What will happen? If anybody wants to access the billing software, only option is remote desktop connection. They have to remotely connect your desktop, and let's say 10 people, when they simultaneously try to connect your desktop, it is not possible, right? Only one person can connect to your desktop remotely at a given point in time. Multiple people cannot connect. That is one issue. Other thing is it will cause a lot of performance issue. That's the reason why you host it on a cloud, so that anybody across the globe can go and access my website concurrently, right? Concurrently, simultaneously. So the same thing is happening cloud. Once you need to deploy it onto, so that anybody from your company located in any location, whether it's Bangalore or Chennai, Hyderabad, they should be able to access your report if it is available on cloud. Fine, I hosted the dashboard reported on cloud, and now my manager complains me. See, you have uploaded the daily sales report, but it shows yesterday's sales only. Today's sales is not refreshed. That's where you have something called BI gateway. What this With this, what we can do is we can refresh the data in the report on a daily basis, weekly basis. You can schedule it. You can schedule the automatic data refresh on your report using BI Gateway. Deploying it on cloud itself is not sufficient. You need to make sure that the dashboard and the reports or the data in the dashboard and reports are refreshed automatically on a scheduled day or time, right? So for that, the gateway is very much important. Hope you understood the components at a high level. With these components, we can make sure that we are able to. But anyhow, I'm not going to discuss about that one now, and also we will discuss this later. Anyhow, now the download is in progress, right? Fine. The power map and all, we'll see it later. And yeah, next one is fine. Okay, you're all set. The next step is what I would suggest you to download this one. Okay, apart from this, you need to download MySQL software also. Download MySQL for Windows. You just type it. So what I would suggest, don't postpone it any longer. Tomorrow morning, whenever time permits, right? What you do is, probably you guys can get work from home tomorrow, right? If you have that option, okay. And if you are working in a school, you obviously have to go in person. Okay, what you do is, once you come back home, you go and download this one also. Okay, the second one, I think, yeah, second one. Okay, 470.2 M. Okay, you download this one, and the installation of this one also pretty simple. If possible, tomorrow lunchtime when you try to download it, right? First thing is you download it, and tomorrow lunchtime, if you can, send a WhatsApp message to me, I will share the same Zoom invite to you and help you how to install it. Download MySQL and install it. Okay, and also download and install this one. What is the Power BI tool? Okay, whatever I said, right? Make sure that you have downloaded everything. Watch my video, okay, and also I will send you a video for how to download and install MySQL software. It talks end to end. Please watch that video. It may not take more than 30 minutes, but you need to watch everything. Okay, don't skip the video. Okay, watch it and install it. I want you to be proactive in terms of installing all these softwares, whatever we discussed, so that we can stay on track with respect to the training program. Otherwise, during the training program, if you install it, right, it is the productivity will not be good, right? We will not be able to use the time very effectively. Before training itself, you complete the download everything, and also I will share the video how to install MySQL, right? You can watch that one and install it accordingly. Right? It will not take much time. Lavanya, since Amit is a technical, he is in the technology space, right? You can get his help, right? And I guess he is also doing work from home, correct? So you can get his help, and very good. Power BI down. You can install it. Okay, you can get his help also, and install it. And Vijayakant, please download and install it, everything. So make sure that every session you join it with the help of your laptop. Don't join it via your mobile phone. Very proactive, right? So do it on the fly.
We cannot find like that it's coming.
Oh. No, you just watch my screen very carefully.
But it's there, sir.
No, you watch very carefully my screen. Power space BI. Okay, type it like this. If you type it, you should see something like this. With the icon. Okay, with the icon you can see it.
1 minute, sir. I'll show it. Can I share it my screen once again?
But your screen is not completely visible. Yeah, anyhow, you give it a try one more time. Yeah, you try. I'll make you a host now again. Yeah, you can. Yeah, without that also you can share it, right? Yeah. Right.
Now can I share?
Yeah, it's opening, right? Yeah. So what you do is, yeah, you are all set, right? And in the yellow color thing, right, on the top corner of right corner of a yellow thing, right, click cross.
Right one, this one, sir.
No, not wait. Yellow color thing is there, right? The yellow color.
That one.
That one you have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
right.
This
yeah,
one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. Right? You're all set. You are into Power BI desktop. You installed successfully. Got it? So you installed it successfully. Very good. Right? So that's all. You installed it successfully. You're all set. Okay.
Oh.
Let me wait. Whether I am seeing my screen or yours. No, wait, madam. I got confused. Wait. I opened the Power BI in my desktop, and then I said, you're all set. Wait. You show me your screen now. 1 second. So yeah, your screen. Can you share? Now you show it me again. That Power BI, open it. Share it now. Yeah, share the screen and show it.
I hope so. If you close the screen, then I can share. No, then you will get to know which one is mine.
Oh, okay. Even I.
You are closing your.
Okay, wait. Let me just.
Yeah, if you close the sharing, then I can share.
Oh, okay. I made that mistake.
Okay.
Then you can see my full screen, sir.
No, I can see your screen. 1 second. You need to share it, I think, right? Yeah, you already. 1 second. Let me do one thing. I will just.
Okay. I stopped sharing. Now I stopped it.
Wait. I will just. Yeah, I did not. How was disabled? Yeah, you disabled the participant screen sharing. You disabled even mine now. 1 second. Let me try to reclaim host. Wait. We both cannot share it. Okay. Yeah, now you share it. We'll see. If you are able to share it. Now you share.
No, sir, it's disabled to share.
So now,
at
any point in time, only one person can share it. Okay, I can see your screen now. Yeah, now you share it. Yes.
No, this is my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Same screen is coming.
It's your screen only, and share. Yeah. Now what you do is, screen. Your screen sharing. Yeah. Don't click stop share. Let it be there. Okay. And what you do is just open your thing, Power BI desktop. I can see your cursor movement, everything.
From where?
In your desktop, go to your
from
desktop.
Where can I open the?
No, your desktop. Your desktop is there, no? In your laptop desktop. Yeah, there. Yeah. So yes, that is the one.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I open my.
Yeah.
This is Power BI desktop.
Yes. You can click that. You create a shortcut.
Can I open?
Yes. You can open it. Wait. It will take some time. Don't click multiple time. It will take longer time. It will unnecessarily open many. Yeah. Wait. Finish. You click finish. Why it shows this one again? Yeah. Wait. It is going on. It is opening it. Wait. No. Click. Can something happened here? So click cancel. Why you are clicking next? Don't do the next. Click cancel. You already installed it, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Are you sure
Yes. Click yes. Click finish.
Okay. Now finish.
Yeah, finish. You close it.
Now close.
You click close and go to Power BI desktop. This one, the shortcut key. No, close completely this one. Yeah.
It's not closing.
Wait. Or the cross mark is there, right?
Or the cross mark is there, right?
Okay.
Click it.
Click it.
Oh,
I
you opened so
it
many.
multiple times, so
That is
that's
a
why
problem.
it's.
You need to gently click it, okay? If you click it multiple times. Wait. It is opening. Wait. Don't do anything. Wait. Hold on. It is opening. Don't click anything. Okay, anyhow, you retry once again.
I clicked.
Yeah. Wait. Don't do anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait for some time.
Okay.
No, wait. It will take some time. If you have 4 GB RAM, right, it will take some time. Even I have 16 GB RAM, it takes some
Even I
time.
have the RAM, it takes some time.
That's it. You're all set. This is what Power BI.
Yeah, now it is open.
Yeah.
That's what
First, this one you close it. No, the first one, the yellow color thing. Yeah. Click cross. The cross mark is there, right, in the yellow color. Top right. Yeah. Click that one. Close it.
Yeah.
That's it. You're all set, right? It got
Okay.
installed successfully. That's it. Rest of them you don't have to install it. This is enough. And the MySQL server you need to install it. I will share the video. You watch the video and install it sometime tomorrow. Okay? Yeah. Now you close it, right? Click cross. And okay, it's already getting late for me also.